Welcome back, Suzuki parents. Sensei here. Dr. Suzuki was from Japan, so undoubtedly his method was influenced by Japanese philosophy, culture, and parenting ideas. So it can be a bit difficult for someone from a Western culture to understand the Suzuki philosophy of education if they don't have some background on Eastern philosophy. So I'd like to give you a little bit of information about that. I liken Suzuki method to the martial arts of music lessons. So a lot of the principles and ideas that you might find in a dojo or when a child is learning karate, you will also find here in Suzuki. One of the principles or philosophies I want to talk about is Shuhari. And this is a system or philosophy discussing how someone goes from a novice to a master, and we have 3 different stages. But it's important to remember that the goal here is not to reach perfection. The goal is to reach mastery. So mastery and perfection are 2 different things. And when we confuse them, we become frustrated. Because in this Japanese philosophy, it's not possible to become perfect. You can obtain mastery, but you cannot do something perfectly because we're humans. We do make mistakes. So keep that in mind, that we're not aiming for perfection, but we're aiming to master something, which is possible. And that helps relieve some of the pressure here a little bit. That's not to say that we shouldn't practice and we shouldn't strive to do well, but we're not aiming for perfection. So Shuhari. Shu is the first level. And this is the very beginning stages where we're talking about imitation. So this is the part where your child is listening to the recordings, they're observing the teacher, they're observing classmates in group class and other children. They may be observing before you even officially begin the lessons. Now what the child does is they imitate the other children, the parent, and the teacher for everything that they're learning. So they can't come up with the concept on their own, they can't recite it to you, but they can copy you, and that is what's happening in this first stage. This is the stage where a concept is observed or directly taught at a lesson. The next stage, Ha, is the understanding stage. This is where the child understands the concept, but might not be able to execute it correctly, consistently. Or they might not remember all of the steps. They have a general idea, but they miss some steps along the way. So at this understanding phase, the child intellectually understands, for example, what taka, taka, stop, stop should sound like. But physically, they're waiting for their body to catch up so that they can execute it correctly, consistently. If you're not aware, the mind is much faster than the body, so your understanding happens quicker than your body allows you to actually execute that understanding or demonstrate that understanding of the concept. It takes longer for your neurons to bond together so that you can actually get your muscles to do what your brain is telling them to do. So that would be the second stage of Ha. Children need reminders and a little bit of help from teachers and parents in the way of, again, reminders. So the parent or the teacher will tell the child each step as they're going along, but the child can physically do it on their own if they have help from the teacher or parent. The last step is Ri. The Ri stage is where the child has internalized the concept. So they are able to execute the concept independently. They don't need reminders and they don't need help. However, they're doing it consistently. So it is not considered internalized or in this last Ri stage until they are consistent in their demonstration or execution of the topic. So a lot of times the child will be able to do it at home correctly a couple of times, and the parent tells me this when they come into the lesson, but the child is not able to consistently do it correctly in the lesson, which means we still need more time. There's other things involved with that. That's a different video. But until I see the child doing it correctly, consistently, it's not considered completed in the sense of that Ri stage. Okay, so that gives a little more information about this concept of Shuhari. It's a layered approach of thinking about how one goes from novice to master. We're not looking for perfection, we're looking for mastery, and it's in a layered approach. It's not linear, so it's not one and done, check it off, we're never going to see it again. We constantly come back to old concepts to help us understand new concepts and to deepen our learning and our understanding. So thanks for watching.